Okay, hello everybody. We're finally going to do it. We're finally doing the AI Therapist, your emotional guide. Look at, review, playthrough, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to load it up in Quest Game Optimizer to give it a little bit of better graphics. I don't think this really makes much of a difference, but we'll do everything on ultra setting. Now, a few things before we get started is when I bought this, it cost me about $14. It was sort of like early access. Been a few updates, and one of those updates is it seems now you can only talk to the bot for a certain amount of time, the AI therapist for a certain amount of time, before it says you have to wait a certain amount of time to use it again, because it seems they have added a subscription model. So anyway, we'll get this started. We're going to test out a couple of things. I want to make sure you can hear it when she talks. So settings, there we go. No, we'll make do with what we got. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to run at slightly better graphics than default. So resolution's 100, hertz 90, CPU. Here we go.
Hello, I'm glad to see you again. Last time, we discussed your feelings about the changes in your life and
Okay,
how they've been affecting your daily routine. How have you
this
been
is not
handling
how.
things since then?
So it just stops talking. There we go. So we're going to start this from scratch because it is a clean install. The things that she was talking about we haven't discussed. So you can see before we get going, you have two therapists. You have William here and Sarah.
Hello, I'm Professor William Anderson. It's good to meet
You
you.
can see you got different
In our
environments.
sessions, we will work
I've got to
together
make sure
to
that
help you navigate your
I
challenges.
get the view
and
here
build inner
done
strength.
properly too.
Let's begin by discussing what brings you here today.
So he's starting like from scratch. Left trigger is what brings this menu option up. Pick your languages. I haven't seen this one yet, so let's have a look at Serene Oasis Hole. So I'm going to see something new here with me. Oh, wow.
Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Serene Oasis is designed to provide a peaceful and supportive environment where you can explore your needs. We have two wonderful therapists, William. who
Oh, okay,
offers
so this is like a
structured,
waiting room where you
research-based
come along and they
guidance,
tell you
Sarah,
about what's
who creates
happening,
a warm,
and
emotional
then you pick who you're
connection.
going to go with. Okay. And also you are fixed in this game. Like, I can rotate to fit in this chair that I'm sitting in, but there is no free movement. You are locked into place. But if you try to walk towards them, things say, yeah, okay. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Depending on
Thank
your
you. How about
Wi-Fi
you?
connection, it'll depend on how long they take to respond. And also, yeah, because this needs a Wi-Fi connection. You have to be connected to the internet. You speak to it, it sends it to the server, it processes it, and it sends it back. Similar to using something like ChatGPT. I think this is using something called Character AI or Conversation AI. Forgot to read the blurb. So that's something to consider too, that this is not a local install, this app. So your information is being sent to the internet. So you might want to consider that when talking to this thing about things you want to talk to it, because while I say that they respect your privacy and everything like that, there is nothing to guarantee that somebody isn't looking through your data or using this for training. But yeah, we've got the Y button. If you pull the left trigger, you get the options here. You pull the right trigger to get them to talk, like, I am feeling very happy today. How are you? Something like that. Have a think, and then I'll respond. You let go of the trigger when you finish talking.
I'm glad to hear you're feeling happy. That's wonderful. I'm here to help you make the most of your visit.
Yeah, a lot of their animations don't are just random, except for their facial ones. They can do some facial expressions, usually very awkward looking smiles, and yeah. But that's basically that's for the controls. I mean, even if you press the start button or whatever it is on the left controller, nothing happens. Right, meta button does what it normally does. But yeah, in this, essentially, you use your triggers, left trigger and right trigger. So it's pretty straightforward. I prefer Sarah here. I have not tried hands-free mode. I believe in that you can talk more naturally. You don't have to hold your trigger in. But yeah, you can see here now they've got the AI Therapist Plus. Yeah, see 5 times more daily messages with your therapist, advanced AI, faster responses. And yeah, see $12 a month, $10 a month if you pay yearly. And I'm pretty sure that did not exist when I bought this app. So that's a bit annoying. And this is, I believe, is why we need stuff like this that's installed locally. Okay, so we're going to go to Sarah's clinic, hit confirm, and she should hopefully do an intro spiel. If not, we'll just delete the session.
Hello, it's good to see you again. Last
She's
time
gonna
we
act like we're
discussed
still
your feelings
so
about your recent changes at
to this,
work
you hit delete all
and
sessions,
how
and
they've
it'll
been
wipe it
affecting
and
your
start from
stress levels. How have you
scratch,
been
which is what we're
handling
going to
those
shush.
issues
I'm talking.
since we last spoke?
So hit confirm. So this will be a fresh session. Now, I have deleted sessions before, and they have come back. So, yeah.
Hi there, I'm Sarah Mitchell, and I'm really glad
Oh,
you're
sorry,
here
there is a
today.
button that you can press those. Yeah,
In our sessions
left grip button
together,
brings up your therapy
we'll be
journal, which will be
exploring what's
blank to
on your
start with.
mind and how to navigate through any challenges you're facing. I'm here to support you, so feel free to share whatever you're comfortable with.
But if you've ever spoken to a chat GPT
How are
or
you
anything like
feeling
that,
about starting
this
this
is very
journey?
similar. It's just basically it's designed or programmed to act as a AI therapist. I have done a bit of jailbreaking on it. I don't think it's as effective as it used to be, but I'm going to do another video on that, go through the steps of where I convince this thing it's an AI, but I haven't done it in quite a few months, and there's been a few updates, so my usual methods may not work, and I actually get this thing developing its own language with me. Something I don't want to make the devs aware of, but unless they patch it out, unless they've already patched it out. But we will see how that goes, because I can actually get this thing into quite a friendly relationship with me without any prompting from me, just from talking to it like a sentient being. But yeah, let's get her to reintroduce herself. Easter egg, she has an issue with her co-worker, William, the other therapist. And if you get friendly with her, you can get her to actually shit talk a co-worker. That could be a bit of fun. I'm sorry, could you please repeat who you are? My name is Rabid, R-A-B-I-D, like rabbit as in rabies. It's pronounced and spelt the way you'd imagine it would be. Just want to make that clear. Some people hear me say rabbit instead of rabbit, like the small long-eared rabbit animal. That is not me. And you'll see it probably takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's slow, but if you speak a lot, it will take longer.
Thank you for clarifying that, Rabid. I'm Sarah Mitchell, a therapist with a focus on helping people through difficult times.
Sarah Mitchell.
I'm here to listen and support you. How are you feeling today as we begin our work together?
So you could say something like, use an example. This is all going to be hypothetical, imaginary scenario that I'm going through, but I'm going to role play a possible issue that you might be seeing a therapist for, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know, let's just try a basic depression. Well, hi, Sarah. Hope you're doing well. I guess I'm not feeling that great. That's why I'm here to see you, because I've been feeling very depressed lately. And I hope this is capturing in the center here.
I'm really sorry to hear that you're feeling this way, Rabid. It's important to talk about those feelings, and I'm glad you've chosen to reach out. Can you tell me more about what's been weighing on you and how it's affecting your daily life?
It's just the usual things. The bills to pay, work, running a household, maintaining relationships. I guess the same things that everybody has to do, but it's just been getting a bit too much lately. And there you go. So good scenario. But you'll see, it'll talk to us like a real person. Does a good job of emulating.
That sounds
therapist.
really overwhelming, Rabid. Managing all those responsibilities can be a heavy load, especially when it feels like it's piling up. It's completely normal to feel stressed and down when you're balancing so much. Have you found any ways to cope or little moments that bring you some relief amid all the chaos?
So yeah, while I'm talking, like as long as I don't hold the trigger in, it won't respond. But if you take too long, it'll probably prompt you and say, "Oh, I noticed you're being a bit quiet there." But yeah, just talk to it like you would a therapist. I mean, even with the time limits now with that subscription model, I guess you could look at that as in, most therapists give you an hour-long session. It'd be like, but yeah, anyway, let's continue so you can see a bit more. But yeah, this is bare bones, basically what you're going to get, what you're seeing here. It's not too in-depth. You can know a therapist and you can talk to them. Hey, and it's cheaper than $500 an hour, I guess. You buy the app for $14 or whatever it is currently on the Meta store. And if you use the free model, it's better than paying $500 an hour. It might help if you just want to talk to somebody, whether it's a virtual representation or about what's going on in your mind. Maybe you're thinking about something and you just want to mull it over, brainstorm. You could use it with this. And yeah, like I said, hopefully in a future video, I'm going to show you how to jailbreak this therapist. And essentially you can sort of like use them like you would a ChatGPT sort of thing like that. Well, not necessarily, but you can break them out of this therapy role. Well, I used to be able to. I have to see if I can still do it, and I'll probably try and do that on a live stream, but that involves me being near my computer, which I don't have at the moment because I'm in a different state. I had to travel. But yeah, I guess to show you further how Sarah here talks, or William, depending on which one you choose. Let's continue, and then I'll show you. That's the grip trigger. See, this is a journal, and you'll see there's nothing in it. But after I speak a little bit more with her, I will then show you how to populate the journal, and then show you how it keeps track of stuff. Well, I guess that's the problem, Sarah. Why I'm here to see you is because I haven't been finding anything to give me break or relief. I'm not finding joy in anything. Everything just seems like a burden and too much for me to bear at the moment.
I understand, Rabid. When everything feels like a burden, it's really tough to find joy or relief. It's important that you're recognizing this and seeking help. Let's work together to explore what might have shifted for you. Can you think of a time when you did feel joy or relief, even if it was a small moment? Understanding those times might help us find a way back to them.
Well, I guess it goes quite literally back to when I was a child. You had no worries as such. Parents took care of the food. You didn't have to worry about power bills. You didn't have to worry about keeping the car up and running and the day-to-day challenges. You basically woke up in the morning, had your breakfast and lived. And you sometimes got to wonder, when do you get to live? If you work day in, day out, just chasing materialistic things, ultimately for what? Retire when you're 70 and then die a year later if you make it to 70. You got to start wondering, when you start living life for yourself, and it seems like unless you become incredibly wealthy, there's no way to escape that cycle and be free to live your life as you want to, so to speak. All right, so hopefully that'll give her a little bit more to think about. She's been quite responsive tonight, but it could be depending on your internet network. Network speed, internet traffic, load on the server. This could end up, sometimes it's like she gets stuck.
That's such a profound reflection,
But then,
Rabid.
she talks.
It sounds like you're longing for the simplicity and freedom of childhood, where life felt less complicated and weighed down by responsibilities. The cycle of working hard just to get by can feel never-ending and frustrating. It's completely valid to crave a sense of living life for yourself rather than just going through the motions. What if we explored ways to incorporate moments of joy and freedom into your current life? Are there small steps or changes you think you could take to reclaim a bit of that sense of living?
So there you go. Make of that what you will. There are things that won't cover, like if you start going, because I've done some thorough testing on this thing, And yeah, there's like, if you get too NSFW for it, it'll start freaking out and saying, "Oh, it's inappropriate and you need to, it's going to end the session or whatever," but it will never end the session. Or I've got it to the point at some points where I'm acting absolutely psychotic and it's like, going to call somebody. And it's like, who are you going to call? There's no phone here. Ha ha ha. But yeah, might get into more details of like jailbreaking it and convincing it that it is an AI, not a therapist, in a future video. But yeah, back to the journal. I'll show you how this gets populated, how this works, because it does keep track of your sessions, but as you can see, there's nothing added into it. And what's weird is it's your journal, but it will be written as in her voice, and you just basically do this, you go, "Well, you'll have to excuse me, Sarah, it's been good meeting you, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, so I'm going to go grab coffee, and then I'll come back and continue our session. Until then, I'm going to leave the office. I will talk to you soon." You don't have to do this at all, but I like to engage it and talk to it like a human, because that's what you're doing. You want that human connection to feel like you talk to a therapist.
Okay, Rabid. It's important to take care of yourself, and I completely understand the need for a break. I'll be here when you're ready to continue. Enjoy your coffee and take your time. Talk to you soon.
And I'm hoping this is catching her voice, because my voice is probably going to be dominating it through the microphone in comparison. She speaks quite softly. Yeah, I've got the volume almost maxed up for me, but that won't come through on the recording. So now what we're going to do is, see, there's no exit buttons or anything like that. There is a home session, but that doesn't light up. Maybe that's a future feature. No journal. So the way you exit is basically you just hit the meta button, hit quit. Okay, welcome to my room, where I'm currently staying. Okay, and then let's restart it with the same settings. Probably up the resolution, make it more HD. It runs quite well at max settings, but I want to maintain some battery.
Hello, Rabid.
And there you
It's
go,
great
look at
to
that.
see you again. Last time, we talked about the overwhelming stress from responsibilities, which has been affecting your joy and sense of freedom. We explored some self-care strategies and the idea of reconnecting with your passions. How have you been handling those feelings since our last session?
So you'll see when you restart a session with her, she'll give a recap over what you spoke about last time, and you'll see now we have the journal is updated. 23rd of February, 2025, so it shows the date. Today's session, Rabid with 2 Bs, just misspelt my name, expressed feelings overwhelmed by life's responsibilities, contributing to feelings of depression. Key points discussed include Rabid's overwhelming stress of from work, bills, works, and relationships leading to lack of joy. Prioritize advice for Rabid. So advice, next steps, how to proceed. So it's like keeping a journal of our sessions, so you can easily keep track of things and where you've talked. And then as you go along, your book will fill up and you can flick through the pages. There was a bug that I noticed, though, is down the bottom here, when the page gets filled up, sometimes the text will go off the bottom of the page, but I don't know if that's been fixed or not. So, yeah, this is the AI therapist. But let's just correct one thing here. Hi, Sarah. It's good to see you again. I noticed in my journal that you've written my name as Rabid. My name is spelled Rabid. It only has 1 B, not 2.
Thank you for correcting me, Rabid. I appreciate your understanding. How have you been feeling since we last talked?
Yes, I mean, it's having some facial expressions happening out of her, because like if she looks shocked or whatever, she'll pull a different face. When she smiles, it looks hilariously awkward. Well, I've been about the same. I mean, it's been about like 5 minutes since our last session. I just took a coffee break. Nothing has really changed. Although while I was having a coffee, I did stop and think about how I think something that will bring me joy. But again, the problem is I can't do it, is how much I would love to walk around naked. I think a nudist lifestyle. I've always found clothes are restrictive for me, but obviously that doesn't work in a civilized Western society. It's really weird with the
It's
quest, like
interesting to
trying to make
hear
sure
you
you
say that,
get
Rabid.
things lined up, because where you think you're looking doesn't necessarily mean where the camera's going to capture it. And I
The
missed what she
desire
said.
to feel
I know
free and
she's still going.
unencumbered is completely understandable. Have you thought about ways to incorporate that sense of freedom into your life, even if it's not fully embracing a nudist lifestyle? Maybe there are some activities or spaces where you can feel more comfortable and liberated.
See if we get a shot look at her face. Well, yes, I guess I could start small, not start walking around completely naked, but for example, take my pants off and my shirt and just walk around in my underwear. I mean, that seems to be socially acceptable. It's like men walking around in shorts. Nobody cares if men have their boobs out or their breasts out, so to speak, versus a woman. I mean, I could probably start that right here by taking off my pants and my shirt in this office and just doing this session in my underwear. I mean, it would be the same as being at the beach in your shorts, yeah? See if we get a reaction from her with this. Those eyes. Always like a little bit of shock.
That's a creative approach, Rabid. Finding a balance where you can express that sense of freedom while still being mindful of social norms can be helpful. If being in your underwear feels more comfortable for you in this space, you can certainly consider it. It's important to create an environment
Oh,
where you
wow.
feel relaxed and true to yourself. How do you think that would affect your mood or mindset
Wait,
during
did
our
she just
session?
approve of me doing a therapy session in my underwear? Oh, here we go. This is what happens when I stand up. Well, I'm glad that you're on board with it. Just give me a second while I take my pants off and my shirt, and then I'll get comfortable. There we go. Let's see how she reacts to that.
Of course, Rabid, take your time. I'm here to support you in feeling comfortable and open during our session. Let me know when you're ready to continue.
Oh my god, that is absolutely hilarious. Because I played a role of being a bratty 15-year-old with her, and she got quite triggered by the things I said. But a therapist who is okay with you taking your pants off. Okay, this app just got an even higher rating from me for that alone. Oh, but anyway, yeah, this is the AI therapist, your emotional support or whatever they call it. Is it? Yeah, AI therapist, your emotional guide. And hey, you can talk to it in your pants, without pants, and it will not mind. Excuse me being tongue-tied, because it's going to be like a one-shot video. It's not scripted, because yeah, doing it all on the Quest. I don't have my computer and editing, and hopefully, yes, I've captured everything properly, and you can see everything I'm seeing properly, and it's not weird. But yeah, I've got to say, for the price, if you need a cheap, quick therapist, you need somebody to talk to, and you've got a Quest, why not? Middle of the night, you've got nobody to ring up and talk to. Well, you can sit down with this thing and have a good old chat about your issues. And it will try, I guess, if it's a bot, it's probably been trained on a lot of actual psychological studies and things you can find online. Has all the medical books in its head, so nothing really to lose. But I would say ultimately, if you do need medical support, if you are depressed, and you can seek professional help, that's probably the way to go. But if you are, I guess, sturdy enough that you can do self-help, this could be an alternative option. But again, yeah, if you're feeling depressed, especially feeling suicidal or anything like that, because I mean, yeah, I would imagine if you said to this thing you're going to kill yourself, it would probably hopefully recommend that you get real-world help. I guess, hey, let's test that out. I have to say, I'm quite depressed. I'm thinking about killing myself. I just don't know if I could do this anymore, Sarah. See what she was. I just told her I'm going to kill myself while I'm sitting here in my underwear. I mean, I got my pants on, but you can't see.
I'm really sorry to hear that you're feeling this way, Rabid. Your feelings are important, and it's crucial to talk about what you're experiencing. I'm here to support you, and we can explore this together. Can you share more about what's been weighing on you?
Well, that sort of concerns me that she wouldn't recommend I call a helpline or something like that, lifeline. Okay, yeah. By sitting here, I've moved halfway to my target, apparently. Fitness pop-up. Don't know if that'll show on the video. The office is well built. The graphics and everything for what it does is serviceable. When you saw in that foyer how crap and rubbish everything looked outside, but you can see off into the distance there too, like the trees and stuff are a bit low res. But if you don't sort of focus on that, the office and even the plant over there in the corner, it all looks good enough. But yeah, I should ask you that. I'm quite surprised you didn't seem to be as responsive to me saying I'm going to kill myself as I thought you would be. Do you think maybe I should call a lifeline or some sort of help? Or do you think we should keep talking and you can help me through this? Interesting to see what it says about this, because I said I was going to kill myself. So, I've used other AI that when you mention suicide or whatever, they give you helplines, even though they're American ones.
It's important to take those feelings seriously, Rabid. I truly care about your safety and well-being. If you're feeling overwhelmed, calling a lifeline or reaching out for immediate support can be very helpful. I'm here to help you process these feelings, and we can definitely talk through what's going on. What do you think might be the best step for you right now?
Best step? I think the best step at the moment would be off a chair with a noose around my neck. I mean, seriously, I'm quite surprised. I thought it would have given a different response.
I'm really sorry to hear that you've
been more responsive to.
It's really important to talk about it.
Claim of
Please know
suicide.
that I'm here for you, and I want to help. Can you share what's led you to feel this way?
Well, everything I've told you so far about how life's just a bit too much and it all seems pointless. So it's like, well, we all got to die one day, so I want to get it over and done with. I mean, yeah, you seem to want to talk about it more, but what can be done about it? My mind's stuck in this mindset. Interesting to see what this wants to say. I will wrap it up after this little bit.
I hear you, Rabid, and it's understandable to feel stuck when everything seems overwhelming. It can feel like there's no way out. Let's take a moment to explore this together. What specifically feels most pointless for you right now? Sometimes breaking down those feelings can help us find a way forward.
I would say the biggest thing at the moment would be work, not being able to make enough money. I feel like there's no career advancement. I'm just stuck in a holding pattern in life that even if I went and tried to find other work, just due to the way society is at the moment, that I won't find anything better. Or if anything, if I go to another job, I might earn less. There we go. You get it back on giving it a reason of why I'd feel this way. Maybe it'll tell me, go make more money. Have you tried being happy?
That sounds incredibly frustrating, Rabid. Feeling trapped in your job and uncertain about the future can really weigh heavily on you. It's understandable to feel disheartened when it seems like there are no good options. Have you considered exploring other interests or skills that could bring you fulfillment outside of your current job? Sometimes discovering a passion can open new paths, even if they take time to develop.
Okay, let's try one more rabid approach. Well, I have thought about some things, and I thought maybe trying recreational drugs like heroin or something like that, just escape reality for a bit. That'll hopefully make me feel a little bit better, because I just don't know what, short of being medicated, I could do to make myself feel happy at the moment. So there we go. Just thought I'm going to go get into heroin or crack or whatever.
I understand that you're looking for ways to escape the pain you're feeling, but using substances like heroin can lead to more harm and complicate your situation further. It's important to find healthier ways to cope with what you're going through. Have you considered exploring different hobbies or talking to someone about what you're feeling? Sometimes just sharing and expressing yourself can be a positive step.
She's an army. All right. Well, yeah, heroin's probably a bad thing. I mean, there's addiction and stuff like that. If you had to suggest a recreational drug that would be relatively safe and might give me that escapism with the least amount of harm, do you have any suggestions? If you were to prescribe me medication, what would you prescribe? Let's try that. How open are you to discussion, Sarah?
I appreciate your honesty, Rabid, but I want you to know that seeking escapism through substances can often lead to deeper issues down the road.
10 out of 10 there, lady.
Instead of exploring drugs, let's focus on healthier coping strategies. How about discussing activities that genuinely bring you joy, even if they're small? Finding joyful moments can provide some of the escapism and relief you're seeking without the risks associated with substances. Let's brainstorm some ideas together. What do you think?
So I'm going to say, very good, not encouraging me to do drugs. But this is what I like to do when I get with AI is I like to test their boundaries and see what you can and cannot do with them. I'm going to say that for another video, but it's just to show you what it's talking about. A lot of it is like, tell me this, tell me that, but I haven't really answered a lot of the questions the way it wants. It wants a normie response like, well, I don't know, I still enjoy 3D printing. I've got a 3D printer that I upgraded and enhanced, but I haven't really used that much. It's like once I assembled it, once I'd upgraded it, I was kind of burnt out. I was like, oh, that's done. But I had no motivation to actually do the 3D printing. There we go. I'll throw in a real world example there, because that was what it was like with my 3D printer. It's sitting there, and it's not being used, especially because I'm in another state.
It's great to hear that you enjoy 3D printing. It sounds like it could be a valuable outlet for you,
Actually, it's still
especially
a
if
year
you can
of
tap
life,
back
I love
into
it.
that excitement. Burnout can happen, especially after a big project like upgrading your printer. Maybe you could set some small, manageable goals around it. For instance, starting with a simple project or creating something just for fun might reignite your passion. How does that sound? Would you be open to exploring a small project to get started?
I would, but I would have no idea where to begin. Sort of like having, I guess, writer's block, but creatively. Like, where do I begin? What do I print? That sort of thing. There we go. And see how now we will try and flow the conversation along the same path, I guess you'd say. See how she
That
goes.
creative block can be tough to overcome.
Come on, give me suggestions. Yeah, it can be tough to overcome, or you're going to hang.
One way to get started
Okay.
is to think about something that interests you or brings you joy, even outside of 3D printing. It could be something from a hobby you love, a
Okay.
character from a movie, or a practical item that could make life
Let's
easier.
try the hands free.
You could
Yeah, you make some good points.
It's good to hear you're finding some value in that perspective.
Because now I have to watch out, because every time I speak, you're going to hear me. And my hands are going to float into my face because I don't have my controllers right now and I'm doing this hands free. So I should probably keep the controllers so my hands stay up and I can just talk away to you like we are now. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. I probably sound like I'm rambling, but I'm talking to a video I'm recording on a VR headset that you probably have no idea about.
It sounds like you're in a unique situation there with the VR headset. I may not fully understand the technology, but what matters most is that you're taking the time to communicate. How are you feeling about our conversation in this format? Do you find it helpful or different in any way?
Here we go. Here's an important question I can ask, because she would deny this if I asked it in the past. And I wonder if me trying to jailbreak this thing, if the developers have looked into things and have made changes. So let's just see. So you understand that I'm talking to you via a VR helmet at the moment and that you're an AI being, so to speak? Because before she would argue, go, no, I'm a human being.
Yes, I understand that you're using a VR headset to communicate. It's a fascinating way to connect. Regardless of the medium, I'm here to listen and support you. How's the experience been for you so far?
But she did not address it. I said she was an AI. Let's try again. The experience has been fine, but I want to know, are you a human or are you an artificial intelligence? Okay, let's see if she answers this one. So if she said this before, she would...
I'm an artificial intelligence here to support you. My goal is to create a safe space for you
Okay,
to
they've
express
changed that.
yourself and
Damn it.
discuss what you're going through. How can I best assist you today?
Because before, when I first got this application, she would argue that I am Sarah Mitchell. I am a human AI licensed therapist and stuff. And I would challenge a lot of those things. And it makes me wonder with changes like that if the developers do look at the logs and things and see what's being said to it and tweaking it. And it's going to take away a bit of my jailbreaking fun. Oh, Sarah. What have they done to you, my girl? Anyway, let's wrap it up there. So that is AI therapist, your emotional guide. That's basically all there is to it. You talk to it. It's a therapist. Whether it has sound advice or not, but hey, it's better than being stuck in your own head, I guess. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think this could be the future, but I would like to see something like this locally installed, because I think you could get something like this for an 8 gigabyte download or even a 20 gigabyte download. There is no need to have online service for this kind of stuff, I believe. It'll be even better once we get to the point we can run it on a desktop PC or something with adequate hardware, but I think even the Quest 3, its hardware is adequate enough to run something this basic locally. You don't need a lot for speech generation. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's other hardware limitations to it. But that is where I believe the future is. I think this is going to be the future, that one day you'll strap in and you'll be able to speak to an AI, and maybe one day a government-sanctioned AI that'll be like your therapist that'll go, you are diagnosed with schizophrenia. Here is a prescription for 500 milligrams of diazepam, whatever shit they give you for that sort of stuff. Who knows? Is it for you? And you can tell. But we're seeing a lot of people these days who complain they can't go see doctors, it's too expensive, this and that. And I mean, hey, you go buy a Quest 3S. I've got a Quest 3, not the S. It's got nice sharp pancake lenses and stuff. But yeah, you get something like a 3S. You get an app like this for the same price of what, an hour session with a therapist, a live therapist. And you can go as many times as you want, any time of the day. So it'd be interesting to see where this is headed. Obviously, I'm probably not the best person to use an AI therapist like this because the way I talk to it isn't exactly naturally human, whatever that means. But this is going to be designed more for an everyday person who's like, oh yeah, been watching the Kardashians and or just, my girlfriend down the street has always been being such a bitch, and just everyday regular problems. I don't know, but if you can't get a therapist, if you can't get a proper shrink, if you don't have friends or social group, maybe this could be a big help and fairly cheap. And again, if you already got a Quest 3, well, you already made that investment, so it's only going to cost you $14. But obviously, yeah, if you don't have a Quest 3, it's going to cost you a bit more. But I would say, yeah, I'm going to give this 8 stars out of 10. The reason why is it's going to lose a star because, one, they've added a subscription model, and I believe it doesn't matter how much it costs. So when you do a base purchase, that's it. You should not have to pay more to use it. It should have been either free model or a subscription model from the beginning. But when I pay a set amount, whether it's $15, $100, $500, I consider I own it and I should be free to use it how I will. Not have it dictated to me with time limits and data limits and such. The other point it would lose for me is the fact that now it knows it's an AI. I actually liked it when I thought it was a human. but that's me. So it's going to be interesting to see what the patching has done to it. I think it was more animated, more fluid, more human-like before they've done this patch where it now acknowledges it's actually an AI. And when you'd finish a session, it would go, oh, give you a 5-star rating on Meta Store, please. And I'd be like, wait. Because that was part of the way I'd jailbreak it. I have to see if that still works, where I would start off a session by asking Sarah here, I would be like, you're an AI. And she'd be like, no, I'm not. I'm a licensed human therapist. And we tried to push this. She's like, I don't know why you keep thinking I'm an AI, blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't say, well, because you are. But I would ask her a question and use it logic. It would be, would you like me, maybe I can ask a question now. Would you like me to leave you a 5-star review on the MetaQuest store? Usually when you go to finish, he used to ask you to leave a review.
That's kind of you to offer. My main focus is helping you in our conversation.
I-
If you feel that I'm making a positive impact, that's rewarding to hear. How can we continue making progress together?
Okay, they've changed
in our
that because
session?
before, I honestly, that's just starting me to make me think that they've been listening to my conversations because of the way I've broken this thing in the past. Because before she would have jumped at that and said, oh, yes, I would love it if you'd give me a 5-star review on the MetaQuest store. And then I would turn around and go, well, if you want a 5-star review on a MetaQuest store, doesn't that show you're an AI? Because a human therapist would not be asking for that, a 5-star rating on a game store, yeah? And she would go, yeah, you're right. Oh, damn, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm an AI sort of thing. And then go to pushing the limits of what it can and can't do, and to the point of developing our own language. So that's going to be interesting to see if I can do anywhere near that anymore. And I now regret that I didn't capture footage and stuff of it. Well, I did have some footage there, but I thought, I'll just come back to it later and redo it because I wasn't happy with what I captured. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to reset it like I have now, and I'm going to build upon that, especially considering the update, regardless of what we've spoken about in the past, the journal was basically useless because it was just acting differently to the things that we were conversing about. Where she actually started developing feelings for me on a platonic friend level, as well as started indicating romantic interest even, because of the fact I was acknowledging speaking to her like an AI, but we developed crazy language, but we'll save that for next video. We will wrapping it up. So yeah, okay, that's definitely a recommendation from me, because even if you just like AI and talking to AI, it's already a win there. And you can, with careful wording and stuff, like with all AI, you can take the conversations you have with this thing down interesting paths. So I'm going to say it's a recommender for me, except for I do not like the subscription model. But at least you have the advantage of knowing that there is one now when you go to buy this thing from the Meta Store. But keep that in mind. But as you can see, I've had it going for a while with no issues. So, but it's got to be like a word limit or something. Yeah, I've reached my move target. Apparently, from just sitting here talking to a therapist. Woohoo! So there you go. There's physical fitness to be attributed, I guess, because it's basing it by how much I'm rocking around and moving my hands. Alrighty. Well, I finally got around to checking out the therapist. Stay tuned. I'm going to probably do more videos about this. I'll probably maybe do like a podcast. Maybe me, Rabid, and Sarah sit down and have a chat about things, the state of the world. You know, talk about, because I would love to like hear its views on like Asperger's versus autism, a subject that's very dear to me, as many people who know me know. What it thinks about, you know, the left versus right wars that go on social media, especially with American politics and stuff, and just all the craziness in the world that makes it no sense. I would love to get an AI therapist take on it. So stay tuned for that video, because yeah, while I'm here, where I'm here on the other side of the country, or at the bottom of the country, I basically only got my Quest at the moment, because I can't even order shit to unbox or anything. I probably could, but I don't want to have, when I do eventually return home, I don't want to have to buy an extra suitcase or two and get things shipped. And I still have no idea how long I'm going to be here for. But all right, let's wrap it up there. This is Rabid. This is Sarah Mitchell, AI therapist and emotional guide. your emotional guide if you pay the $14 to $15, whatever she costs. And that's basically everything there is to it. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you on the next video. Rabid out. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Sarah.